activities of public relations is being felt across government ministries, departments, agencies, and even in the private sector. Public relations officers also in military, paramilitary. So the chairman at Ogun Nipr is not only the chairman of a few, but chairman of many. On that note, I want to be recognizing the our members, but I want to let you know that I may not be able to. Thank you. You're most welcome. Also, in the Ministry of Information and Strategy, let's have you rise, and the people will welcome you into this discussion program. From the Ogun State Ministry of Information and Strategy, do you need bicycle fare? From where else?
I'm not taking bicycle any longer.
Okay, you want.
So, bicycle will not.
Much tougher for you. DJ. The Yeltex has gone to remove this strange noise. Thank you so much. Public relations officers in educational institutions. Here we also want to appreciate your presence. Public relations professionals in the military and paramilitary agencies that are here, we want to appreciate. Is in the private sector, we also want to appreciate and for being part of this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to announce the arrival of former National PRO of the Department of State Security, and is now the State Director of SS in Ogun. I welcome Peter Afunaya. Let's put our hands together to welcome him. Yes. Thank you very much. All public relations practitioners in health and medical institution, we want to appreciate your presence.
We also would like to recognize the presence of the Director, Institute of Communication and General Professor Remy Adura-Adola. Thank you so much for joining us. The former chairman, Association of Nigerian Authors, Mr. Dada Olamide is also here with us. Please let's join our hands together to appreciate him. Thank you for joining us on today's program. Leadership and reputation, the role of public relations in building trust in Nigeria is what we'll be looking at today. And earlier we announced the arrival of the keynote speaker, a man with so many talents, is widely regarded as one of Africa's most sought after public relations consultants. And of course, he is the founder and chief consultant of International Limited, Adetokunbo Mutube. Please let's join our hands together for him.
Yeah, thank you very much. Leadership and reputation. Many of us here, we were one time class rep or class governor. Many was even probably any
I like the fact you mentioned class reps.
Okay. Were you one?
No, it's but everybody is going to respect you if you are the one writing the noise makers. Maybe the ones we call vernacular speakers. Yeah, you speak Yoruba you speak English with any form of interference, your name will be written. So as a leader, like you said, we are very, very important, and we cannot lead if we do not have the requisite knowledge of what it means to be a leader, which is why this symposium is critical to the understanding of our roles at different places that we are leading. And this time around, it has to do with the role of public relations and building trust in Nigeria. Recently, I think before 2023, there's always conversations online where Nigerians, everywhere in the world, okay, those in diaspora now, they would come up with different narratives about the country, but consciously, Nigerians started speaking up by themselves, saying, you cannot cross a country that has given birth to you. Whatever it is that is our challenges today would disappear, will not disappear if we continue with the rhetoric of the negative of the country. So people consciously now start to call out leaders, and of course not cursing the country, but of course calling out leaders to do what is needed to drive the kind of development we so desire in the country. So if you're a Nigerian and you're here present, I'm sure everybody here are Nigerians. So if you are in Nigeria, just be proud of your country. Whatever it is that we're going through is only a going through. It's not where we're going to. And we also have roles to play in getting to that place that we desire to have our country get to.
Yeah, thank you very much. At this microphone that we are a leader in our own right.
Exactly, because everybody's listening to us.
So we should be able to maintain a level of reputation, either with engaging or without employing public relations. So right now, we are going to start by not wasting your time. And we'll get the program starting now. This will be by way of rendering the Nigerian national anthem. So don't forget that this is October, and we are equally celebrating Nigeria at 65. So we are going to rise now. We will render the first stanza of the Nigerian national anthem. After that, we're going to recite the national pledge, followed by the Ogun State anthem. And before we take our seats, we will also read the last stanza of the national anthem as the national prayer. So those are the things we're going to do at the opening. So right now, the chairman, the council member, keynote speaker, discussant, other guests, gentlemen, shall we rise as we
take the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. No tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
Thank you very much. We'll take the national pledge. You know we're not going to sing that, so we're expected to read it by ourselves. Let's go. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Now we take the Ogun State anthem, Ishaya of Ogun, Ishaya. Thank you very much. We take the last stanza of the Nigerian national anthem for our opening prayer. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. And we all say, Amen. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together as we take our seat. Thank you very much, distinguished guests, fellow professional colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the chairman of the Ogun State chapter of NIPR, the executive council members, chairman and members of the 2025 Colloquium Planning Committee, I have a singular honor and a great privilege to welcome you to this year's Colloquium with the theme, Leadership and Reputation, the role of public relations in building trust in Nigeria. As earlier recognized, we have a number of distinguished guests in our midst. Among them are public relations guru and excellent practitioners in the field of public relations. Before we begin to recognize them, as we're going to run over the recognition one more time, I'd like to salute the chairman of our chapter. To us here in this gathering, like they will say in my village, they will say, Oduni Okinshe Arimofun Oloko. This woman has affected lives, not only within the chapter and our members, but even beyond the chapter of NIPR in Ogun State. Please celebrate with me Mrs. Oluwashio Boye, NIPR, the chairman of Ogun chapter. She is not here alone this year, as usual. The husband is here with her. Please welcome with me Otumba Dede Boye. Let's put our hands together. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of NIPR in the most populous black nation is here with us. This man is also the chairman of the council of NIPR. His name is Dr. Ike Neliaku of NIPR. He is represented here this morning by a council member and our own Mr. Tome Adaramola. Let's put our hands together. The member of the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, you're most welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's theme is critical to our gathering this wonderful morning, and of course to drive that discussion is a widely regarded a man known as one of Africa's most sought after public relations consultants. He is the founder and chief consultant of TPT International Limited, with over 3 decades of experience in public relations and marketing communications. Talks, as is affectionately known, Mr. Adetokunbo Mojupe. Please let's join our hands together for the keynote speaker of today's event.
Thank you very much. Briefly, we're going to also recognize all the discussants that are here today. Let's put our hands together very well for all our discussants that are here. Equally, all of our awardees that are already here, we want to appreciate your presence. Let's put our hands together for all our awardees that are here with us. Thank you so much. Distinguished guests, senior colleagues, veterans in the field of communication and public relations, we want to appreciate your presence. We're not going to waste our time any further. Thank you very much. The next item on the program is the welcome address by the Ogun Nipr chapter chair. Let's welcome to deliver the welcome address a woman like a man, or a woman
can be bold,
a woman
can be courageous,
Uh-huh.
can be strong.
Put your hands together for Mrs. Oluwaseun, the chairman of our chapter, for the welcome address. And that is a woman.
Good morning everyone. Good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to this 2025 Colloquium. I'll start with the protocols. I know that we have spent a long time, our time is fast spent, and we're sorry for starting this event late. Please pardon. Dr. Ike Meriaku, FNIPR, who is ably represented by our own council member, Mr. Tope Adaramola, MNIPR. Incidentally, today, Mr. Tope Adaramola is celebrating his birthday. Please let's appreciate him. The chairman of today's occasion, Honorable Laji Adebutu, is still on his technology. Director, Dr. Olutola Oluyemi, FCA. Boy, thank you for coming. I would like to also recognize the State Commissioner of Police, who is represented by DCP Sarah Eludero. Thank you, ma'am, for coming. Chairman APBN Alhaji Musiliu Atinuke, who is represented by his first Vice Chairman Alhaji Femi Ogunsoya. Chairman Ogun Nipr, Chairman Ogun NUJ Komewale Olaniwaju, ably represented by the Secretary Bumi Adugun. The Chair Paramount FM, my beautiful sister, Mrs. Remy Olubero. SSA to the Governor of Media, Mr. Femi Ogun Nipr. Acting General Manager OGPC, Mr. Benga Omotude. All our distinguished discussants this morning. Let me start with my big auntie and sister, Ms. Kiton Yeshiku, our producer of Prime Woman of OGTV, former producer. Thank you, auntie, for being a good mentor to me. I would like to also mention Professor Ayodele Ojolami and Mr. Babatunde Lasaki. Thank you for accepting to be our discussants. So let me also single out this speaker for today. That's my Baba Oko, let me call him Baba Oko, the Chairman, CEO, TPT International, and is also a member of board Nigerian Reputation Management Group. Thank you, sir, for accepting to cut your trip from the United States short just because of us. Akobu only arrived in Nigeria yesterday and he had to drive down all the way from Lagos down to Abeokuta this morning. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate this. We do not take it for granted. Let me also appreciate all our fellows, elders in the house, all Ogun Nipr fellows and elders. Thank you for always very supportive. Let me also appreciate all my people from the Ministry of Information and Strategy, my dear friend and sister Tolu Alopeko. Thank you for honoring this invitation. My ever supportive EXCO members, where are you? The Vice Chairman, Secretary, all of you, you've been so wonderful and very supportive of me. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me now go back to my professional colleagues and members of Ogun Nipr. We are, to all our intending members, thank you for coming. I appreciate you. The list is endless. It's a long list of protocol. Please permit me the way I have to cut it short. I'm so sorry. I know the MCs will recognize other people as time goes on. Greatest Nigerian students, are you here? I can't say that. Great. Greatest Nigerian students. All our distinguished guests, too numerous to mention. I can see a lot of faces. Thank you so much for coming, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. So this is my welcome address. On behalf of Ogun State Chapter, Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to this year's annual colloquium. Theme, leadership and reputation, the role of public relations in building trust in Nigeria. This thing could not have come at a better time. Today, our nation faces a deep trust deficit among leaders, institutions and the people. Broken promises, corruption, inconsistent policies, and poor communication have eroded public confidence in governance. Many citizens no longer trust official information. Instead, they turn to alternative sources and often provide misinformation. The consequences are therefore widespread apathy, weakened national unity, and slow development among many others. The lesson is simple, yet profound. Without integrity, transparency, and accountability, leadership loses credibility and reputation suffers. Public relations offer a way forward. PR is not propaganda, it is not manipulation. It is the profession of truth, engagement, service, and trust. It bridges the gap between leaders and the people, between institutions and their stakeholders. It reminds us that reputation cannot be purchased. It must be earned through consistency, honesty, and transparency. It is in this spirit, under the visionary leadership of our President and Chairman of Council, Dr. Ike Neliaku, the Nigerian Reputation Management Group was inaugurated. This initiative seeks to protect this and strengthen Nigeria's reputation by ensuring that only qualified professionals stand as gatekeepers of our national image. To institutionalize this effort, October 15 every year has been set aside as the Nigerian Reputation Day. We are privileged to have with us today one of our distinguished members of the NRNG board as our lead speaker, Ogun Nipr, Chairman CEO of TPT International, whose expertise and insight will greatly enrich our deliberations. However, the responsibility of building trust and safeguarding her reputation cannot rest on the reputation board. It is a shared responsibility. Leaders must ensure they practice transparency and accountability daily, not as mere slogans. Institutions must earn credibility through fairness and ethical conduct, and citizens too must model the values that they desire in their leaders. So this nation building is our call, as all of us is our call, it's everybody's duty. This colloquium, therefore, is not just another gathering, it is a clarion call. A call for leaders to lead with integrity, a call for institutions to serve with honor, a call for professionals, especially those of us in public relations, to be champions of truth, guidance of reputation, and a call for every Nigerian to protect our collective image through honesty, fairness, and patriotism. At today's colloquium, we also celebrate some distinguished individuals and organizations whose contributions exemplify excellence and service. Our awardee is the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode, wife of the former Governor of Ogun State, Her Excellency Dr. Olufunso Amosu, Director of the State Institute of Technology, Igbesa, Dr. Abiodun Oluseyi, and AA Entertainment and Tourism Limited, have all demonstrated on values, responsibility, and service to humanity. We celebrate, encourage them to continue upholding these ideals. Permit me to welcome the chairman of today's occasion to our midst, Honorable Laji Adebutu. Please join me in welcoming him to this year's colloquium. At Ogun Nipr, we take pride. Our chairman of the occasion, thank you, sir, for coming. We appreciate you, sir. We are most heartily welcome the chairman of the occasion, Honorable Laji Adebutu. Thank you for giving me this event. So I'll continue with my address. At Ogun Nipr, we take pride in our modest but impactful work. As a reputation-conscious professional body, we are always intentional about how we engage with stakeholders, particularly when it comes to funding. We do not make it a habit of soliciting funds. Instead, we welcome support only from those who truly believe in our mission and values. As public relations professionals, we are the bridge between institutions and the public. We stand for unity, truth, and shared progress. And we open our doors to all who share this vision for a better Nigeria. At this juncture, let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the 2025 Colloquium Planning Committee led by Afolabi Orekoya. Please help me to appreciate Afolabi and his team. Despite daunting challenges, you delivered alongside your team. As at 2 weeks ago, I was thinking maybe we will not have this colloquium, but with the help of God and the planning team, God made this happen today. So thank you, Chairman, Colloquium 2025, for your commitment and resilience. I appreciate you. So as I bring my address to a close, let us remember that reputation is the true currency of leadership. If Nigeria is to rise and thrive, we must all invest in building trust and protecting our collective reputation. Once again, I warmly welcome you to this year's colloquium. May today's discussion inspire us to act, to listen, to learn, and to lead with integrity. Thank you all, and I appreciate you all for coming. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. So a song came to my mind, and I would like you to join me to sing this song. Nigeria yìí tí gbogbo wa ní, ó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Nítorí kò sí ibòmíràn tí a lè lọ, àjò lè dàbí ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan, ó yá ó gbé. I thought we were going to stand and gbé Nigeria ga. Gbé kájọ gbé, ó yá ẹ gbé o gbé kájọ gbé. Sọ fún ẹ̀ka tí mo ti dà mọ́ ká gbé kájọ gbé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbé o gbé kájọ gbé. Thank you all, God bless you, I appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, shall we please put our hands together very well for the chairman of the chapter of NIPR for that very good welcome address. When the chairman said we should sing, the generation in front sang it and lifted Nigeria symbolically, because King Sunny Ade has been teaching us over 30 years ago. But the generation at the back, it took them time to catch up. But at the end of it all, they lifted it. So, Chairman, Ogun Chapter, and members of the Nigeria Reputation Group, you have a lot of job to do to carry us along so that we can lift Nigeria together. Once again, let's put our hands together very well for the chairman. Thank you so much. Also, Akogun sir, I said I am a leader with this microphone, and I would like to lead aright. You landed in Lagos, and you are held a little by traffic. So next time when you are coming into Nigeria, land in the issue. So no traffic. It is just express to Abeokuta. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, while the chairman was presenting the welcome address, the chairman of today's colloquium walked majestically into our midst. The chairman is an honorable man, a philanthropist par excellence, our own dear. All right, thank you very much. Let's welcome the chairman of today's event, Honorable Ladi Adebutu. Let's put our hands together to welcome him. Thank you so much. You're most welcome. I also would like to recognize the presence of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Strategy, Mr. Wahid Adeshina. Let's put our hands together for him. I recognize the presence of the one I will call Arena Campus member in Owu Palace and the Oruto of Owu Kingdom. I recognize Chief Abiodun Lashile. Let's welcome him into our midst. Thank you so much. Honorable members of the Ogun State House of Assembly. So from distance, I can see Honorable Lukman Adeleye. Let's put our hands together to welcome him. I can see Honorable Wali Owode. Let's put our hands together for him as well. And every other honorable members that are here, I will still come remove these glasses and update my list. Then I will do the recognition. All right, thank you very much. The next item is the speech of the President of NIPR and the Chairman of the Council, Dr. Ike Neliaku of NIPR. He is represented here today by the birthday boy. He stepped out the other time. I know he has gone to arrange for cake. Please welcome Mr. Tope Ajaramola, MNIPR, a council member, to deliver the speech of the President of the Council.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. May I respectfully recognize the chairman of this very great occasion, who was elected to be personally here. He is an iconic politician, a philanthropist, and a lover of good image, Honorable Dr. Oladipupo Adebutu. Thank you very much, sir. May I also quickly recognize all our esteemed invitees that are here at the behest of the chairman of the Ogun Nipr, a woman of elegance, a woman of class, an iconic professional, a woman whose status has magnetized a lot of membership beyond what so many of us anticipated, even under our leadership as chairman. I'm talking about your chairman and my chairman, Mrs. Oluwaseunboye, MNIPR. Leadership is a continuum, and please permit me to appreciate the fact that on behalf of all past chairmen of the Ogun Nipr who laid the molding blocks upon which we are building today, that you have done exceedingly well and you have done us very proud. I collectively recognize all the dignitaries that are here, top government functionaries, men from the traditional circle, the professionals that are here, students from different institutions of learning that have also come to learn more and add more to their knowledge. You are all duly recognized. I stand here today as the representative of the President of the Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers, the #1 image mender in Nigeria, Dr. Ike Neliaku, FCID. He has asked me to convey his apology for absence because as of today he is otherwise engaged in Port Harcourt for another PR event. And being a council member that is also representing Ogun State at the National Council as well as a former chairman of the Ogun Nipr, he has been fit to ask me or depute me to stand in for him today. So, for those of you who know Dr. Ike Neliaku, you will see Ike Neliaku, who though is in yellow pigmentation, speaking in black pigmentation. Mr. President has asked me to appreciate the phenomenal feat of the Ogun Nipr and to say that the chapter has returned to the pride of place that it used to occupy in the committee of chapters of the NIPR in Nigeria. He is particularly super impressed with the leadership of the chapter as well as the cooperative membership of the chapter. And he has also asked me to tell you about some of the strides of the council on your behalf. Today, the narrative of NIPR in Nigeria is no longer the way it used to be. And this is coming by way of pragmatism, diligence, tenacity of purpose, as well as the can-do spirit of Dr. Ike Neliaku's team. Today, every member of the NIPR is prouder than what they used to be many years back. Today, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations has seen to it the need to publish the name of public relations in very uncommon quarters that we never used to have it. Some few months ago, the NIPR leadership was invited to specially give an address and speech on reputation management to the political leaders of our country, because we realize that if there is a content that our leadership should have, it is the content of reputation, trust, as well as image management. Mr. President has also asked me to inform you that in times of strengthening the NIPR as a formidable institution, his team has put in place a lot of strategies towards ensuring that the NIPR as an institution is going to be stronger than any individual, bearing in mind that the major deficit of our nation is that we have strong institutions, we have strong men, rather, are very weak institutions. But what the NIPR is doing under Dr. Ike Neliaku is to ensure that the NIPR as an institution is stronger than any institution by providing a mold into which every personality that becomes a leader or is elected to public office in PR will be squeezed into. And that is why today the National Council is very, very delighted about the theme of this very great colloquium, Leadership and Reputation, Role of Public Relations in Building Trust in Nigeria. The role of public relations in building trust in Nigeria cannot be more apt than now because of the disconnect that exists between the leadership and the led. You must realize as professionals that PR builds trust through authentic and consistent communication, reputation management, and strategic stakeholders engagement with the intent to foster positive relationships between organizations and the public. Without trying to take the wind of the sail of the very iconic speaker that we have brought all the way to speak to us today, I'm talking about one of the proudest products of public relations practice in Nigeria today. Permit me to just say that the key roles of PR in building trust includes and not limited to authentic communication, consistent messaging, reputation management, stakeholders engagement, crisis communication, as well as storytelling. At the appropriate time, I believe that the speakers will do ample justice to the subject matter. But at this point, I just want to finally convey the very deep appreciation of Mr. President to everyone that has congregated here to make this very edition of the annual colloquium of our great chapter worthy of being celebrated. It is on this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that I have the honor and privilege Sorry for that break in transmission. PR is about reputation, right? Yeah. And we must continue to honor dignitaries when they come, provided they don't disrupt absolutely what we're doing. Thank you very much, ma'am. The First Lady, former First Lady of Ogun State, Mrs. Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Olufunsho Amosu. Thank you very much, madam. So, as I round up the speech of Mr. President Dr. Neliaku, with an appreciation to everyone for making this event very resourceful and for advising everyone to take maximum advantage of this very epochal event by listening as well as giving it every attention that it deserves. On this note, I hereby, on behalf of the President of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, declare this 2025 annual colloquium open. Thank you and God bless you.
Please let's continue to jam our hands together. I initially told you about these presentations. I've always listened to him, and I think I'll listen to him. He is a very thorough person and inspiring speaker. Please let's jam our hands together for him once again.
Thank you very much. I will always do my heart for Mr. Tokwe Adaramola. While he was delivering the president's speech, we have stepped into this arena, our mother in this state, a serial entrepreneur, the wife of the former governor of Ogun State, and by extension, I would say the Moreni Ajashoro of this generation. I welcome Her Excellency Mrs. Olufunsho Amosu.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You're most welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, the Olu of Ilaro, paramount ruler of Yewa land, and the chairman of the State Council of Obas, His Royal Majesty Oba Kehinde Gbadewole Olugbele. Let us together say Kábíyèsí. He came in with two representations. The first is a distinguished scholar and the Olu of Imashayi, Oba Dr. Lukman Koye Kábíyèsí. And also the Oloja of Oja Odon, also in Yewa land. I recognize Oba Engineer Oyebanji Olowobeshe. Let us also say Kábíyèsí. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, in the entourage of the chairman of today's occasion, we have distinguished honorable members of the Ogun State House of Assembly that are here within. I recognize the presence of the minority leader of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Lukman Adeleye is here with us. Let's put our hands together to welcome him. Deputy Minority Leader is equally here with us. Honorable Dixon Awolaja is also here. Let's applaud him. We want to appreciate you. Representing the good people of Shagamu Constituency 1, the Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Oluwadamilare Bello is also here with us. Thank you so much. Not leaving out the honorable member representing the good people of Ogun Waterside State Assembly and the Ogun State House of Assembly, Honorable Samsidin Lawal. Thank you so much for being here. I I recognize Honorable Walim Owode, representing the good people of Ijebu East State Constituency. Thank you so much. I also like to recognize Honorable Biodun Ogunremi, Honorable Semi Shodipo, Honorable Fasil Bakene, Prince Honorable Lekon Tejosho, and Honorable Kunle Folarin, all in the entourage of the chairman of today's occasion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would also like to recognize the entourage of one of our awardees who is here present. Is Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Olufunsho Amosun. She came all the way to this very venue with very wonderful personalities as well. Mrs. Olushola Pampa is here. Please let's appreciate her. Mr. Wale Ogunyomade, former political functionary, is also here. Mr. Kayode Ademolake, please let's appreciate him for joining us. Mr. Femi Kushimo, former permanent secretary. And yes, you have Alhaji Bola Adeyemi here present because please let's appreciate him as well. Alhaji Oye Shiko Amosun is here to celebrate with Ogun Nipr. Please let's join our hands together for them.
Thank you very much, distinguished guests. We want to appreciate you. Moving forward, the next item is the we also want to recognize Honorable Barrister Oluwaseun Adesanya, also in the entourage of the chairman of today's occasion. And the next item is the speech by the chairman of today's occasion. And as earlier introduced, the chairman of today's occasion is a Knight of John Wesley, is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Public Administrators of Nigeria, is an honorable member and a philanthropist by excellence. Please welcome with me Honorable Dr. Oladipo Ademutu, KJW, FCPA, for the chairman's opening address.
First and foremost, I extend my courtesies to the President and Chairman of Council, Nipr, Dr. Ike Rika, led by Dr. Adaramola, Chairman of Ogun Nipr, Mrs. Oluwaseun, and of course, we want to extend courtesies to the wife of one of my masters, the former governor of the state, Dr. Olufunsho Amosun. I greet you, Your Excellency. Similarly, I extend my courtesies to our royal fathers here present, Oluwo Mashari Obaralukun Oye, Kabisi, and of course the other royal fathers. I extend my courtesy as well to the minority leader of the State House of Assembly, Lupon Adeleya. I greet you for doing very well for the state. Similarly, I greet the Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Kola Awolaja, member of the State House of Assembly, dear President, for the purpose of brevity, guest speaker, I greet Akogun Adetukubo Mutupe, and of course for this conference, I have two discussants here, Professor Ayodele Odunami, Mr. Babatunde Masaki, Mrs. Kidon Uyeshiku. I am certain we'll be able to learn one or two things in this process and share some thoughts. All said and done, I must also greet my
I saw the director of SSS here, DSS. Has he left? Yes. He's a pity. But I'm sure he has representatives here. And of course, he will access what we discuss here. Maybe it might lead to an invitation tomorrow. No problem. Often we're told Africa should be greater than where it is today. For something we know Nigeria should be greater than where we are today. The problem is about leadership. The problem is about leadership. You cannot distill away reputation and leadership that co-travelers. But unfortunately, when people proceed as if there's no reputation to be worried about, you now create an atmosphere where leadership fails. It is impossible for anybody understanding the heritage where it comes from or more than one shape to be a bad leader. All our leaders that have succeeded is because they have reputation and legal reputation. What does Mr. X stand for? When all this fails, we end up in a country that fails. On the internet, how would you like for them to be published as a corrupt leader? You have children that will read that as well. It's a corrupt leader. Money meant for roads, you have stolen. Money meant for hospitals, you have stolen. Everybody that dies because of that lack of hospital, that blood. But people don't really think anymore. You cannot talk about leadership, you cannot talk about reputation without going into good governance. I don't want to turn this into a campaign platform, but it is sad. When you have a nation that gradually gravitates towards the situation, grab it, stay it, run with it. The fundamental tenets of democracy, they are broken. What kind of leadership is that? Anyways, what kind of reputation are you impacting on society and our children, even though we are born? All these things collectively have one end point. You stifle democracy, you stifle development, and corruption becomes the norm. Corruption becomes the norm. We are here where we are today because we now lack conscience. We have lost empathy for ourselves as a people. How many past leaders, I hope you use the word past, when you're tenure is over 4 years, 8 years, how many are able to walk the streets without protection? How many candidates, for that matter, can speak in their community and their words be respected? How many? That's why I say we need to, even for the sake of morality alone, if we truly believe after this 100 years we live on earth, we are going somewhere, we are going to actually, we have to manage that our existence on this earth should not be an impediment, whether to heaven, whether to our general, whatever it is. But there has to be that conviction. To these my dear friends that we have come to join today to celebrate and share thoughts with, you must speak truth to power. You must speak truth to power. You are a very important bastion of our democracy. When you don't speak to how you have failed, often we have interviews, you will refuse to write it the way it is. Why? Because you are afraid of something. I said one or two things today. Maybe I'll be invited by the DSS tomorrow, no problem. I'm used to that. That's why I mean the party that I am in now, because they value in opposition. There is value. When there is no opposition, then you have no democracy. You have no check and balance in this system we are running. Gradually, we are moving to a totalitarian state, very sadly so, because all institutions are gradually being degraded. You have a serious, very fundamental role to play now to restore what you are doing and for a greater nation. You must speak truth to power. Thank you.
I want to say the chairman deserves a better applause.
Don't forget, this year we are examining leadership and reputation. The chairman has just said what we need to know, what we need to do, speaking to power, speaking to followers, and speaking to practitioners. Once again, let's put it together for the chairman of today's program. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving gradually, and the next item is the delivery of the keynote address. And the first time I have access to the invite of this program, I try to look at who the keynote speaker is. I consulted my silent teacher, I did a little research, and I know a few things about him. But I'm getting here and I see what is written in the program. I said this is just 7% of who our keynote speaker today is. So right now may I invite him to take the center stage, and my colleague here will roll out his profile before delivering the keynote address. Don't forget our keynote speaker is Ogun Nipr. Let's put our hands together.
Ladies and gentlemen, the profile of our keynote speaker, Ogun Nipr, is widely regarded as one of Africa's most sought after public relations consultants. He is the founder and chief consultant of TPT International Limited, with over 3 decades of experience in public relations and marketing communication. Talks, as is affectionately known, stands out as a leading figure in Africa's modern PR consultancy landscape, renowned for his innovative approach to public relations. Toros is a member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and a fellow of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria. He has also served as the General Secretary of the Public Relations Consultants Association of Nigeria and currently chair the Strategy Committee of the Nigerian Reputation Management Group. Sequel to his bachelor degree in international relations, Toks holds a master's degree in leadership, innovation and change from York St. John's University in the UK, and LLB in law from Arden University in the UK, and has completed the general management program at the prestigious Harvard Business School in Boston, Massachusetts, USA. Among other qualifications, Adetokunbo Modupe is therefore an alumnus of the Lagos Business School, Ardent University, York St. John's University, UK, Harvard Business School, and Strathmore Business School. Through his company, TPT International, Talks has consulted for clients across various economic sectors, including oil and gas, NGOs, banking and finance, foam and bedding, tobacco, brewery, ICT, dairy, food and beverages, telecom, agro-business, wine and spirit, state and federal government. As a thought leader, Talks specializes in ideapreneurship, leadership, innovation, policy management, strategy, and marketing communication. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's jam our hands together as I present to you the keynote speaker, Ogun Nipr. Thank you.
The governor of Ogun State, whom I believe is represented here, the president of the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, Dr. Ike Neriago, the chairman of Base Vocation, Honorable Adewotu, the very beautiful wife of the former governor of the state, Mrs. Olufunso Amosu, the chairman of Ogun State NIPR and the chairman of the organizing committee. It's been on my neck for, to woke me up this morning. Like Boye said, I flew into the country last night, and this morning I had to wake up very early to be here, and I spent 3 hours in traffic between VGC and VI. And then you can imagine how many hours I've been on the road getting here. In fact, it was shorter getting from Lagos, from Ikeja down to Abeokuta than coming down to the mainland. But I'm glad to be here, and I want to thank Boye for giving me this opportunity. Very distinguished guests, Kabiyesi, not to forget the traditional institution. When we're talking about reputation, the chairman of the education, Honorable Adebutu, said something earlier that reputation starts from the homes. When they ask you, do you remember the son of who you are? And that becomes a huge responsibility if indeed you have a family name. What I'm going to do today is just to provoke, discussion. I'm not here to teach you how to, the relevance of public relations in leadership or managing reputation. I'm just going to challenge us, and hopefully at the end of the day we will have, it will bring us to the consciousness of the relevance, of having a good reputation, not just in leadership, in our everyday life. And so I'm going to be looking at leadership, and I will look at reputation, and then I will present a case study. Because you cannot have a reputation if you are not intentional. You have to recognize that there's a value. When somebody says the role of public relations in leadership and reputation, the role of public relations, a leader cannot make use of public relations if it does not value reputation. We have to ask ourselves that question: do we really value reputation? If we are in a country where, or in a society where head or tail, authority wins. Do we need reputation? We need to ask ourselves. We begin to work on our reputation when we place premium on reputation. And that is why I'm going to be using in my presentation a country that has applied the tool of public relations in repositioning itself, and the result is there for all to see. So this morning, leadership and reputation, the role of public relations in building trust. Again, I ask this question: do we even need to build trust if we can load it on people? If we can impose it on them? If their own, perspective does not matter? And why do we need trust? We do not need to be trusted if you can force your way. So, but if we agree that trust has become, a sort of deficit in our leadership system, then we come to public relations experts to help us out. So what is leadership? I think it is the ability to inspire, coordinate, and bring order to a cause that is shared. When somebody stands and everybody says we are following this person, it's not just about what that person says, it is the content and character of that person that makes that person a leader. In a classroom, the teacher will say you are going to be class captain. The teacher must have identified certain skills, certain inherent qualities in that person before you will make that conclusion that this is the person that's going to be leading this class. Leadership is not an imposition, as the case may be. It is when people their collective aspiration goes, onto someone. And so this is the person. In public space, people will go and vote to say this is going to be our leader. Right? We can talk about the process leading to that choice. If that process is bad, then it means that that person does not have the true mandate of the people. And if he does not have the mandate of the people, do you think that person will be interested in building trust? If there are other ways that the process can be circumvented, then it is that other way that takes the attention of the leader. So leadership of a nation. In the context of a nation, leadership refers to the process by which a group of leaders or a leader influences and directs the actions and decisions of a country. Nigeria is a country of 200 million. When you have the responsibility to direct, guide, change, even the destiny of people, it is huge. It is enormous. It involves the ability to foster unity, make informed decisions, protect the citizens, and guide the country towards stability and economic prosperity. For every citizen, what we expect
protect you, provide certain amenities. You don't have to be very rich, but you have to be able to live. And when you have that, then your trust is in that government. So importance of leadership. In various contexts, including businesses, community, religion, organizations, schools, politics, leadership plays a crucial role. When you don't have a leader, obviously there will be chaos. It is important for creating a positive organizational culture, fostering innovation, driving performance and results, applying rules, policies, and certain traditions for the collective good. For example, we have a traditional ruler here. In that community, imagine if there's no, there's so many things that will happen. They say, let's go and meet KBC, let's go to the palace. Every single day, if you don't have KBC, I'm not sure that the courts will be able to handle the problem in society, because I know that in many palaces, from morning to night, they are settling cases and matters in the community. That is leadership. Leadership may emerge as a result of inherent talent, training, experience, self-motivation, imposition of people's mandate. But the most important in public space is the people's mandate. Where truly you get the people's mandate, you know that you are answerable to them. When you appreciate that, then you want to build trust. Because you know that if there is no trust, next time they are going to say no to you. The success and failure of a country is dependent on the quality of its leadership and the leadership structure. If a country lacks good leadership, the country cannot prosper. There's nothing that anybody can do. If you don't have a pragmatic, empathic leader, a leader that cares about the people, a leader that thinks first about the people before self, then we can not get there. Political leadership and the importance of reputation. As we can see on the screen, very intentionally, I put the pictures of certain global leaders. And when you see them, what comes to your mind is leadership. They do not need to be introduced. Just as a strong reputation is crucial and can be defining factor in business, it is also very important for the political leadership of a country. Indeed, some leaders spend more money on their reputation than other things. In public office, a good reputation is an invaluable asset to a leader. Leaders like Barack Obama, Angela Merkel, Justin Trudeau are examples of leaders who never took their reputation for granted. Very recently, we are all aware of the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. President Netanyahu went to the United Nations to deliver a speech. You may have your perception or your opinion about the conflict. I do not know which side you belong to. But when Netanyahu spoke, you cannot ignore him. You see leadership. You see a leader that was prepared. You see a leader that believed in a cause and stood by that cause and is ready to defend it. If you wake him up in the middle of the night, he's not going to miss word about what to say. They took advantage of every opportunity, these leaders, to make the right impression. So what does reputation mean? Often expressed as a collective estimation or opinion of an individual or organization's character, activity, style, achievements within the community. Reputation is conceptually complex. It is not as easy as we think it is. Sometimes some people, in one of the very, in many ways, they bastardize our profession, for example. When somebody gives somebody bribe, he says, I'm giving him PR. I think a lot of people should go to jail if you have to deal with that. I want to say it categorically today, that has no business or, any connection with reputation building. If you have done the right thing, you wouldn't even need to give a bribe. And if what you are doing is trying to help somebody out, then that is not a bribe. All right? So that is not PR. Reputation requires intent. It requires you understanding that you need it. It requires that you understand that it's a capital. That your reputation is the first asset that belongs to you. Reputation as capital for a country. The intangible value that a nation gains through perception and trust is a major capital that a country can leverage when intentionally built. When you think about America, you think of superpower, you think about protection. Somebody will say, I'm an American citizen. That citizenship for you is a great asset. And then some of us, when we go out, some are very brave, some are very courageous, but some are not so, when you look at what you are holding, you are not very proud. Is that not true? No, we can say, we are proudly Nigerians. But when you hold that green passport and you get to immigration and they ask you to step aside, you immediately begin to feel like a criminal. Because the perception, in fact that you're singled out, the collective reputation of your country at that particular point in time becomes an albatross. That's why when we talk about the reputation of a country, it is a collective responsibility. Some of us may not know all those things that we say. This country is useless. This country is, we use all kinds of, negative adjectives to describe our country. Not knowing that you are building that negative reputation for yourself. If you're a content creator, you're a journalist, every time you post that negative thing about your country, somebody somewhere is reading. And the person that is reading is not looking at is not looking at government officials. The day you step into their country, they are seeing Nigeria in you. And that is the information that you are giving them. So reputation may be intangible. Like I said, it is capital. Indeed, the perception of the country is reflected in the value placed on its citizens. If you want to know the reputation of your country, look at the value placed on you when you step out of Nigeria. Boye said something earlier. We're working on, the 15th of October is the National Reputation Day. But what we are looking at, we're not looking at, it's not a project, it's a cultural reorientation. It's the fact that we all have to understand that the reputation of Nigeria, we're not saying things are perfect. As a matter of fact, we don't have to, we have data. And if I present data to you on how the world sees Nigeria today, you feel very sorry for our country. However, it's not all gloom and doom. We have the bad side, we have the great side. An ordinary Nigerian is a great person. When we diminish our country's reputation, we diminish ourselves. And that is the truth. why the reputation of the country must be intentionally managed. Again, you will be intentional when you realize that that reputation is important. And that is why, in the course of this presentation, I'll be sharing with you a country whose situation at the time was unbelievable. Every society is made up of people with different needs, characters, talents, behaviors, skills, and achievements. Equally, there are natural resources, culture, climatic conditions, geographical advantages and disadvantages. The task of managing the people and resources for developmental goals rests with the country's leadership, right? The task includes, managing how the country is perceived by the global world while preventing the ugly and mitigating the bad elements. And relating the good for global appreciation will require intentionality, commitment, and professional support. Countries that are doing it well, they have taken it as part of their policy. I mentioned America earlier. Every second people get killed in America. The crime rate in America is horrendous. But everybody wants to go to America. You go to South Africa, Nigeria is like heaven compared to South Africa. The crime rate in South Africa. But they also have institutions that projects. South Africa has hosted practically every global event there is, showing to the world that we can bring you and you'll be safe. They are very intentional. They are not just sitting back, and cry. They spend money, they apply resources to managing their country's reputation. Why have we resigned to faith in Nigeria? Are we the worst country in the world? We are not. People will tell you that we are great assets to the world. We have over 50,000 qualified medical doctors in America. Nigerians are the most educated immigrants in America. Every part of the world, Nigerians are standing out. But we do not talk about ourselves. We focus on the negatives. Let's even assume that government is not doing enough. What about Nigerians? They are rich, Nigerians. That woman that is roasting corn and surviving, feeding her children. Is she not a Nigerian? That cat pusher that have chosen to do something that will dignify his family and not steal it. Is that not a Nigerian? Those that are winning Guinness, I'm being recorded in Guinness Book of Records for being great things, are they not Nigerians? So many Nigerians are doing great all over the world. A Nigerian medical doctor, Dr. Lutoye, performed a surgery on a few successfully and is being celebrated globally. It's a Nigerian. The way we do things collectively, it has even degenerated to the point where, sadly, people say that Nigeria not happen to you. Nigeria happened to me the way it has happened to Dangote. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about myself. I want Nigeria to happen to me because Nigeria for me is positive. A lot of Nigerians are doing great. You don't want Nigeria to happen to you, a Nigerian is the richest man in Africa. You don't want Nigeria to happen to you, a Nigerian woman is the richest woman in Africa. If you look at the richest people in Africa, I'm sure that Nigerians will make top, out of 50, you see about 30, 35 Nigerians there. Nigeria is happening today. If you don't want Nigeria to happen to you, move to Togo. But every day we joke, we do not even reflect. We do not think about all of this. But because we're not happy with leadership. relations, again, forget about the books. It is about being intentional, being deliberate, being pragmatic, recognizing that there's a gap that needs to be filled in terms of reputation. Going back to that basic, Rachel Humanity Wanshi, who are you? Can your name make people trust you? Given the totality of your content and character, what you do. When you fly in an aircraft, I think I was advised that next time I'm coming to Ogun State, I should fly to Peru. I'm not sure that maybe Ogun State will get there someday, but I'm not sure they are doing international flights yet. So when you enter an aircraft, they will give you your seat. You just go and sit down and you spread your leg. Because you trust the pilot. Do you know that sometimes we are inside the aircraft, we do not even know whether the pilot is drunk. No, supposing the pilot is drunk and he begins to see the aircraft as Okada. But based on trust, you get into the aircraft and then the aircraft lands, you come out, your luggage, and then it is the same thing, when we entrust the totality of, what they call it social contracts that we have with leadership. When we give them the mandate and we expect certain things from them and we don't get it, we get angry and we say a whole lot of things. To the extent that we even destroy ourselves. So reputation, is the discipline. Public relations is a discipline which looks after reputation with the aim of heading, understanding, and supporting influencing opinion and behavior. Through contemporary PR management process, reputation risk can be diagnosed, categorized, and mitigated while projecting the competitive advantage of a country. What that means is that every country has its backside. Every country has its assets, natural resources, culture, climatic condition. There are some countries you go to, they have all kinds of natural disasters. Somebody said our own natural disasters is leadership. Climatic condition, there are some countries you go, there's winter, we don't have that here. 12 months in a year, we can do whatever we want to do. And then we have so many destinations in Nigeria that the world would like to see. We have our people, we are very international. Nigerians, and average Nigerians have social skills. We can hold our own anywhere in the world. You can't oppress a Nigerian. He's ready to defend himself. So how can the Nigerian leadership take advantage of PR services in building trust? First, it must appreciate the need for a better nation, a better national reputation. It must understand that reputation is capital. It must be intentionally committed to sustainable reputation management mechanism. It must be willing to engage the services of professionals. Let's look at an example of a country with operations and intentional reputational management. Please don't touch the slide yet. We have given it away. Rwanda, in 90 days, 1 million people were killed. In 90 days, the war between the Hutus and Tutsis, ethnic war. When some of us are talking sometimes, whoa. In just 90 days, just think about it. There's a stadium across the road here. The stadium can take about 40,000 or less. So just imagine, the stadium is full to capacity. Maybe you have 50,000. How many of that will give you 1 million? So imagine the number of people killed. And this is well documented. There are movies, there are records. Nobody wants to go near that country. If you think you have bad image, or we have a challenge. Compared to that, we don't have any problem. The hills of human, hills of corpses, horrendous, horrific sights. You wonder, what has the country done? And the situation is, just, a country of 12 million people, you kill 1 million in 90 days. If they continue in 3 months, there will be nobody. Even the person that is killing somebody will eventually kill himself. They get independent just 2 years after Nigeria. Sexual crimes and gender identity weaponization in Rwanda before that war, as part of the ethnic problem, women were being raped like something that will attract an award. It was that bad. Freedom of expression, people didn't have, the political repression, so many bad things. Cost of living in Rwanda was, 112% more expensive than in Nigeria. One of the world's poorest countries with a GDP per capita only 1/7 of South Africa. So many bad things about it. Like I said, in 100 days, and just in 1994. Not long ago, this is not something that we are reading in books. Next slide, please. Next. The gory pictures of that genocide were all over and were well documented in movies and So as we speak, nobody wanted to visit Rwanda. In any case, if they are themselves who want to go there. So you can't be talking about tourists, you can't be talking about economic development, etc. This is just one picture of the situation in that country. Truth to serve, with pragmatic leadership, the leadership admitted they had a problem and was ready to deal with the problem. If you wanted to bring the world back to Rwanda and that give birth to their destination branding campaign. The Visit Rwanda campaign, they started. Aside from dealing with policy issues and also making sure that inclusiveness was, encouraged, all the terrorist sites in Rwanda, they ensure, for example, something is in the campaign was very, very comprehensive. What has happened today? Actually, all our leaders want to visit Rwanda. Rwanda has become a country that was in war in 1994. In 1994, the country today is one of the preferred destinations in Africa So if Rwanda can be intentional, country of 12 million people, that is half of Lagos, the entire country is half of Lagos. Why can't we do it? We don't even have a national carrier. We don't. That's the president there. Very intentional. They took every step required to get everybody involved. And that's a great country today. There's so many other examples of how a country can turn its reputation around. I believe Nigeria, our situation is not that bad to the extent that we cannot do something about it. And that is why building reputation, is collective responsibility. And when you put everything into it, the outcome can be very interesting. And all of us becomes the beneficiary of that. As successful as the Visit Rwanda campaign has been, they have continued to invest even more. They haven't treated it as a project, but it's a continuous exercise. A country that tries to invest in its reputation will lose half of its capital, because nobody wants to do business. The cost of doing business with Nigeria can be higher than too many other countries. It is based on trust. Some people will tell you that to fly from London to Accra is cheaper than flying from London to Nigeria. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And longer routes that are even cheaper than going to Nigeria. I believe that if we deal with our natural reputation, those are some of the benefits that will accrue from it. In conclusion, public relations has emerged as a valid tool for global leaders, organizations, and growth-oriented countries in persuasive communication and confidence building. When intentionally delivered and holistic, it can help build trust in the people-centered leadership. Additionally, public relations serve as an effective means of amplifying positive messages and mitigating potential reputation risk. I hope I have not wasted your time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we can do better than that. Let's put it once again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. One thing I saw there was that when the guest lecturer or guest speaker came, or keynote speaker came in, I looked at him and said, this person looks like Paul Kagame. I don't even know if he's still going to make reference to Rwanda. But you can see that when the picture was shown, let's together very well. Again, when the chairman was wellness, he said public relations, NIPR, our institute, we don't use to write letters of support, we don't use to raise funds. But the keynote speaker said public relations is capital intensive. So one way or the other, we will still reach out to our guest here today. The usher will come to you. You will still receive a letter from us before you leave this place today. And those papers will be filled, we will retrieve them, and your commitment will be followed up. Just wait for us, we're coming. Thank you very much. Once again, let's put our hands together very well for the keynote speaker.
right, thank you very much. The chairman of today's occasion just stepped out, probably to attend to some other things. He's the chairman and I know he cannot leave us like that. He's our leader here today, and I am very sure of that. So the paper is going on, and we want to our special guests to bear with us and fill those slips according to the information required. So as we fill them, we add them up, and everything will go as expected. Once again, we want to pay homage to our royal fathers. Obviously, we thank you. We also want to salute the representative of the President and Chairman of Council. We want to thank our awardees. We want to appreciate our discussants. We want to also appreciate the presence of other distinguished guests. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's good. Little adjustment in the flow of the program. Instead of the discussion, we will give out one award now. Then we move on to the discussion. We'll do another one, do other thing. Then we will also do award again to spice it up. So the first award that will be given out goes to our mother, in the only woman among the awardees, the wife of the former governor of Ogun State, a serial entrepreneur, a philanthropist par excellence, a woman that is touched with the challenges of the people around him, and equally excited with the successes of the people with her. Let me call on our mother, Dr. Mrs. Olufunsho Abusun, to please rise and mount the podium. And so my colleague will now give us the information why she is being awarded on this occasion of the 2025 annual colloquium of the Ogun Nipr. Let's put our hands together once again until she gets to the center of the podium.
We can do better. We have so many reasons to celebrate
Dr. Mrs. Amuso, and NIPR Ogun Nipr chapter is saying that they have every reason to present this award to her. Dr. Mrs. Amuso is a paragon of corporate social responsibility, and her achievements make her an exemplary candidate for the NIPR CSR Award 2025. And we have list of reasons why she is qualified for this prestigious award. One, philanthropic endeavors. Through the Uplift Development Foundation, Dr. Mrs. Amuso has made significant contributions to disadvantaged groups, providing access to basic necessities and equipping them with skills to become self-reliant. Our foundation also discovered and nurtured young talent in education, sport, and other sectors. We have the empowerment programs. Dr. Mrs. Amuso has facilitated numerous empowerment programs for unemployed graduates, persons living with disabilities, and other disadvantaged individuals, supporting them in setting up small-scale businesses and providing monthly welfare stipends to vulnerable elderly citizens. Healthcare initiatives. The Uplifting Cancer Awareness Campaign has sponsored free breast and cervical cancer screening for over 10,000 women across the state, and facilitated free lung surgeries for those diagnosed with breast lumps. Ladies and gentlemen, environmental conservation is also a priority area. Dr. Mrs. Amuso is deeply passionate about environmental issues, authoring a children's book, Get and organizing the first ever national grain egg competition in Nigeria. She also hosted an international grain conference uplifting the environment in collaboration with the International Center for Promotion of Enterprises and the Knowledge Economy Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not done. Community development is also a key area. Through her foundation, Dr. Mrs. Amuso has organized regular food outreach programs to assist those on the brink of hunger and starvation, demonstrating her commitment to community development and social welfare. Leadership and recognition. Dr. Mrs. Amuso has received several national and international recognitions for her outstanding impact, including the prestigious Citation and Proclamation ceremony held in Network, United States, United States of America in 2016, way back as an inspirational figure. As a serial entrepreneur and leader, Dr. Mrs. Amuso serves as an inspiration to many, showcasing the positive impact of corporate social responsibility on individuals and communities. Her selfless dedication to serving humanity makes her an exemplary candidate for the Ogun Nipr CSR Award 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot reason why NIPR is celebrating this woman and awarding her for the exemplary work that she has been doing.
Let's put our hands together very well. And I invite the chairman of the chapter, Mrs. Oluwaseun, to present the award in the company of the president and chairman of the council, as represented by Mr. Tope Agaramola and Congratulations, Dr. Mrs. Amuso, on this award. Please, you can help us to fill the slip. We are going to retrieve them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This CSR award is presented to Dr. Olufunso Amuso
for sustaining human development through various empowerment initiatives, dated Thursday, 9th October 2025, signed by Chairman Ogun Nipr. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. May I invite the keynote speaker, the KBSs, and all other guests of Dr. Mrs. Olufunso Amoso to join her in the photograph. And the chairman planning committee. Mr. Femi Kushima, retired permanent secretary. Engineer Malake, retired permanent secretary. Mr. Wale Okuyo, your attention is needed here. Mama, thank you so much. Haji, I welcome. Thank you very much. Dr. Mrs. Social also will respond. Yes, she will.
Thank you. Chairman of the occasion, Honorable P. Adebutu, members of the Ogun State House of Assembly here present, the NIPR Ogun State Chairman, Mr. Oluwaseun Boye, the Chairman of NIPR Planning Committee and other members of the Executive, the keynote address speaker, discussants, other distinguished personalities, other awardees, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure to be part of this noble gathering. I seize this opportunity to congratulate the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR Ogun State chapter, and commend the efforts of the state executive led by our able Mrs. Oluwaseun Boye, the Plan Committee, and all members of the Institute for this successful hosting of this leadership and reputation. The role of public relations in building trust is of utmost significance. The hallmark of leadership lies in the ability to uphold integrity, demonstrate transparency, and pursue purposeful action. It is pertinent to note that leadership is not determined by position, class, material wealth, or privilege, but by one's ability to create positive impact on humanity. It therefore behoves on each and every one of us to constantly strive to leave enduring footprints of compassion and integrity as we grow. I commend all distinguished NIPR members here present for their selfless service and implore you to remain agents of positive change and guardians of public trust, committed to upholding the integrity and confidence the society has reposed in you. Again, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the NIPR Ogun State chapter, especially recognizing my modest contributions to humanity through my Up Development Foundation. I'm deeply honored to receive this prestigious leadership award. I accept it with utmost humility and gratitude. I see this award not as a personal achievement, but as a reminder more can be done. This recognition serves as motivation and will inspire me to continue pushing the boundaries of service, empathy, and purposeful leadership. I congratulate fellow awardees and I wish NIPR members happy celebrations and a truly colloquium. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you very much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together once again. Thank you very much, DJ. We appreciate our distinguished guests and other awardees that are here. So right now we move on to the discussion session of this colloquium. Remember, the umbrella theme is leadership and reputation, the role of public relations in building trust in Nigeria. We have our discussant here, and we also have our moderator.
Okay, talking about the discussants, we have 3 discussants. I'll be inviting the first one, Babatunde Lasaki. Sorry about that. Thank you so much. Mr. Babatunde communications professional with over 20 years Pan-African and global communications experience across media, banking, advertising, and power distribution services. He currently leads the corporate communications and strategy functions for a coal electricity distribution company. The utility distribution franchise covering the southern Lagos and Agbara, the industrial hub of Ogun State, with responsibilities for providing innovative leadership in creating and implementing the organization's brand strategy. Moving to the very next discussant, this conversation is going to be rich. And yes, we have a seasoned journalist and a professor of broadcast journalism, Professor Ayodele Odunlami. Please let's jam hands together for me. Professor De Odunlami's media experience as a reporter / researcher and principal editor spanned across reputable media houses in Nigeria, including the defunct African Guardian, Champion newspapers, Abeokuta State Television, Abeokuta Different Times. His research interests cover broadcast journalism, media studies, development communications, and political communication, and new media trends with over 50 publications in local and international journals. Please let's jam our hands together again for him. We can do better. He's a professor, and yes, we have students in our midst. They are direct beneficiaries of his wealth of knowledge. Very quickly, we move to the last discussant, and yes, we talk about the last discussant, Mrs. Kiiton Oyeshiko. She is a distinguished veteran broadcaster and media professional known in Ogun State and across Nigeria. Please let's jam our hands together for Mama. She, like I said earlier, she's one Oga that would always ensure that you do the right thing. Even though she's retired, she will make sure she's actually telling us that she's not tired. Every time you're there and you're saying, I'm sure after this program, when I see her, she's going to give me some corrections in the names and of course in the things I've said. So please let's jam our hands together for her. We need people like her in the industry to continue the flow. And yes.
Thank you very much. Now the moderator of the discussion session is the former chairman of Ogun Nipr chapter, public relations guru, and the executive director of Ogun Basin Development Authority. And welcome, Mr. Pr-Primus.
You're welcome, sir.
The chairman of this occasion, distinguished president of the NIPR, the guest speaker, Kabiyesi, distinguished members of the NIPR, fellows of the NIPR, great Nigerian students. Well, this session is going to be very brief. I want to believe that the guest speaker has given us virtually all that we need to know. The only thing, and once I go to church, what I always say is that we have had so many sermons, but the same set of people keep going to church. The same set of people keep perpetrating the ills in the society. So if the change from what we have had today, the change can begin with all of us here, individuals, from me and from you. Perhaps we will get to where we are going, or we should be. So I just have about 30 minutes for this session, and I'd like to start with, can we start with a woman among us? Once you give birth to a child and they say it's a baby girl, Manowero, Badi, so let us start with Owero for this session. And so, let's have Executive Oyeshiku. You have listened to the keynote address. Are there some things that he has not said? What are those areas that we need to exercise? And in 5 minutes, can you be able to give us that your own take on this so that we can use that to add to what we have had already? Thank you very much, please.
Thank you once again. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank the guest speaker. He did a wonderful job. I don't want to say I won't add anything. I'm going to be adding very little. He was very practical in what he spoke to us about. And I think, for me, you did say that we want to sermons, we hear sermons in church, we hear sermons in the mosque. But what I think we should all be doing is keep on talking. We must all keep on talking. You see something is wrong, you talk about it. The chairman did say speak to truth, speak to power, constituted power. It behoves on all of us in our own individual ways, as far as I'm concerned, to ensure that we do the right thing. If we start at that level, I believe there's really that we should be adding on. Because you start from the home, they say you train your child in a particular way. If you train your child properly, there's no way, even if there's peer pressure, as we all talk about, he or she will not deviate. It's as simple as that. But when you know that you have two faces, even at home, your mom is saying do this, dad is saying do that, it all becomes chaos. And once you have chaos even in the house, it already leads to the bigger picture, which is society. That's basically what I would like to say for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Professor Odulami, the chairperson of the NID Ogun State chapter did say that there is trust deficit in leadership across all levels, be it in the church, political leadership, traditional leadership, and perhaps you are a teacher or you are a professor. Even at that level, there is also trust deficit in the kind of leadership our professors or our teachers, either in secondary school, primary school, universities, give to the students and those who are serving with them. What is your take on that aspect? Is there really trust deficit? And how can we bridge that deficit?
Thank you very much. I think a lot has been said. The agenda has been properly been made by the speakers, the keynote speakers, and the chairman. As the chairman of the NID said, if we assume that reputation is a currency of leadership, trust is also the option of public relations. And to contextualize public relations now, we look at strategic communication. The idea of the strata. We occupy different roles and offices as situation demands. We don't limit our interrogation of leadership to the few visible individuals that occupy the highest rungs of our hierarchy. Every individual is a leader in his own right at one situation or occasion or the other. If you are in the church, your pastor is a leader. You become a leader who is the president and attends church, becomes a follower of that leader at that point. At home, the parents are the leader. In the school, all structures, we have individuals occupying different roles. And at the moment, leadership skills, they are not limited to particular offices alone. So if I'm teaching or if we are going to inculcate the key element of leadership, reputation, trust, honesty, integrity. If we are going to do this, meet the various levels that you have identified. The concept of homology that a particular Yoruba person is known for must be well ingrained in our psychology. The fact that you guide jealously, the philosophy behind the name you carry, that is key. The trust itself is a very expensive commodity. Most times we operationalize it, in an elastic way. But the fact remains that trust is simply the synergy between action and words. What to say, whether in your public or private posture, and what to do, there must be a synergy between them. Once there is a gap between these two, reputation suffers. As this one happens at individual level, it also permeates corporate level. And I think this is the angle we should be looking at it, because it's not enough. Most times we ask this question: which one is more important for governance? Is it the leadership? Is it the followership? If we interrogate the leaders, they will tell you that the problem they have in getting their agenda of development or improving society to come to pass is the problem of followers. If you talk to followers, they will say, enough of passing of this book. Every one of us is a leader in one right and also follower. So all these concepts and values that we attribute to leadership must also permeate to followers, because it is the two that complement society and the two must be taken together. And now come back to public relations, which is the nexus of what we are doing today. We look at the fundamental principles upon which public relations is anchored. Starting from 1906, when we talk about having better this iteration of key principles of our profession, which is through accuracy, integrity, timely information, All these are the values that all the structure of our society must, ingrain even in our curriculum, in our relationship, because public relations is about reputation management, information management, saying what you believe in and doing what you say. That is just my opening statement for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. I know you have a reputation. You are not one of the professors or teachers in the institutions where marks are awarded for some sinister motives. So you have a reputation. Please can we give a round of applause with one of our best hands. Mr. Masaki, yes, you are in practice of marketing communication and public relations. What really is the role? Because we are saying that public relations has a role in building reputation and leadership. Why not other courses, other disciplines, other professions? Why public relations? What are the qualities of public relations that we can use public relations to achieve these objectives that we have?
Thank you very much, sir. I like to look at this and unpack it from 4 perspectives. When you look at the theme of today, we have 4 concepts bundled together. We have what we call leadership, we have what we call trust, we have public relations, and we have reputation. When you look at these 4 concepts, they actually interconnect. And I've listened to most of the people who have spoken today. They've actually alluded to the popular boss. For me, what I'm beginning to see as a buzzword, that the problem with Nigeria, it's nothing leadership deficit. We say that, and it's beginning to successive government politicians, the mouth podium, and they themselves they say it. We believe that we have leadership deficit. I'm coming to change that. But in the last, let's say 29 or thereabout, that we actually started democracy, have we actually moved from that leadership deficit index to the level we all desire? To the question the moderator said, that why not other professions to support leadership and build trust? When you look at the world today, everything starts and ends with communication. If you want to do anything today, if you don't communicate, like you don't give instruction to your children, especially the children of today, the Gen Z, they have the Alpha generation. You can't just tell a child now that don't touch that TV or don't go into that room. The next thing is going to tell is that, but why mommy? Gone are those days when we were growing up, or when some of our aunties are growing up, that their mother will say, if you go to that room, I'm going to beat you, and say yes, ma'am. But you can't say that to the younger generation. If you want to tell them not to do something, you must give them the reasons why they are not just tell them why they should not do that. You need to actually explain to them the implication, negative implication to them if they go ahead and do it. See, communication is important, and if communication is not clear, it's actually going to cause confusion. So, and for a leader to be trusted, you must have what we call clear communication. Not clear, but what your team or your followers see as sincere communication. So I look at this way that, just like what Simon Sinek says, he said communication is actually, or leadership is all about emotional contrast. For anybody to trust a leader, you must have a connection with your team or those who are following you. For instance, if I'm a leader in an office and some of my colleagues are not in the office, rather than for me to check on them, I just say, oh, this person is not at work today, I usually query. Or you have somebody who used to be a high flyer, but all of a sudden start dropping balls. But rather than having one-on-one conversation with such individual, the next thing you do is that we are going to start performance management. You tell the child to issue a query. You are eroding what we call trust. That individual will not trust you. Whatever you say, just say that this guy just like to cap. Just like the younger generation say that. If you go and start talking about leadership, talking about trust, just say this guy is capping and trying to gaslight us. We don't want to be gaslighted. We want our leaders to connect with us. If I ask many people here that when we say leadership is about emotional contract, how many of us here know the name of our security in our office or the name of the cleaners? We don't. When we don't know the name of cleaners or security, how do we even connect with them? So whatever we say, do they really believe it? So the characteristics of leadership for me is actually about communication, sincere communication, emotional connection, transparency, and the ability to understand that I am equally vulnerable. I can have a one-on-one and sincere conversation. So that is why, to answer your question, that everything starts and ends with communication. And if communication is sincere, you are going to build trust. And if trust is built, then the people who you are leading will trust what you say, because they trust that whatever you say, you mean it, and whatever you say you are going to do, you are going to do it, and they will trust you, and your leadership profile will continue to rise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we go back to Antiquiton. Yes, you talk about the need to lead by example, whether at home or wherever we are, playing our roles as leaders. It's reputation building, attainment of reputation, a one-day sprint that you can get to, or a one-off stop. How much of consistency do you need, or how long do you need to be doing certain things right to attain the level of reputation? Especially at home, where our mothers preside.
No, I'll just tell you that it's a journey. That's the way I'd like to refer to it. It's a journey. You don't just say something and you expect it to, it's like magic. No, you go through it. It's a process. It's a journey. And you just have to be patient. Mr. Lasaki said, the Gen Z, yes, you tell them they will do the wrong thing. You have to keep on talking, which is what I first of all spoke about. If you don't keep on talking, correcting people, seeing that they themselves, the one-on-one he spoke about, you have children at home. One child disobeys you. You're not going to put the child aside and not relate to the child as a child. You can punish, you can reprimand, but if the child becomes a better person, you corrected him or her, and the child has conformed, then what happens? You embrace the child. He knows or she knows that mommy doesn't mean any harm. It's when you don't that there's a problem. And that child goes out into the larger society, becomes boisterous. You have the headache. The society has the headache. God help us.
Thank you very much. Yes, Prof. Again, what are really the qualities that a leader with reputation should have? Is it just qualifications that takes him to that top? Is it performance? Is it elements of kindness and integrity? Is it a value that followers see in him? What really are the qualities that a leader that they can say this is a reputable leader should have, that they can trust him or her?
Thank you. You actually answered the question for me. I'm really amplifying it. And the keynote speaker actually hit the nail here when he talked about intentionality. Leadership is about intentionality. Transparency is key. In fact, the combination of truth and reputation is what confers legitimacy on leadership. Before your follower can follow you or support your programs, you must have seen the evidence that you have the ability to pull through And what that means is that our words should be our bond. Unfortunately, this is what is deficit in our public governance. Our politicians, with all sense of modesty and apology, do not place much pressure on their utterances. Most times, when they are campaigning, that they will just give out this promise, not looking at the practicality of some of the things they are saying. A good leader must keep to every tenet of his pronouncements. If situation changes that will alter the goals you have set, you go back to the people. We had promised we will do this, but unknown to us, this and this have interfered, and as a result, we want to modify, seeking your approval. And you agree with me that Nigerians are not complex people. If you can give them the facts, in fact, they will be the one that will penalize you, because all the facts are within their reach. But when your words do not mean to you, you can promise heavens, and then when you get to office, the first thing is for you to block the avenue through which you can report back to the very people that give you the leverage into office. All these are the things that erode on public and the trust that the followers have on the leaders. So if you ask me, integrity is key, transparency is key, intentionality is key. Beyond that, empathy in the sense that you feel the shit. Bob Marley sang the other day, said, "You feel it, knows it." You feel the pulse of the people that you are representing in governance, and when you feel their pulse, you are able to actually know what programs or agenda you are actually to pursue. This is key. That is where public relations really comes in, because part of the things we do is to influence public opinion. There is no way a leader can really deliver on the mandates of his leadership if he is not attuned with what the public are actually saying, particularly for perception management. And these days, we know that there is relativity of perception. We must try to create a kind of continuum that will approximate expectations. What I mean by that is that it's one thing for you to have a dream or a vision. It's another thing for that same vision or dream to align with the expectations of the people you are representing. And that is why in public relations now, when we talk of corporate social responsibility, we have advanced the argument to stakeholder engagement to the point that, look, it is not we that are thinking for the people, we think with the people. They bring the agenda, we formulate the agenda together, and on the basis of the approval, what we now implement is the collective opinion of the people, and we must constantly feed them back to give them a kind of performance report of how well we are fed. On the second of it, we followers too must try to moderate our expectations from our leaders. If we expect too much from them, we will derail them, no matter how noble or purposeful they are. You see now, most of our politicians are now veering towards what we call this artificial thing called dividends of democracy. The idea of monetizing benefits, strong infrastructure. That's the word. Morally, these are the brains of corruption. The common thing that tie us together are the expectations as to the maintenance of our superstructure. I want to have good roads, good water, education system. All these are settled. Nigerians are resourceful people. They can go about their activity and fend for themselves. But by the time we have now monetized, dividends, so to say, there is no way we can, spread so-called dividend to the benefit of majority of the people. Some of the politicians will tell you long after they have left offices that the followers are still worrying them, we need to be more, and the man left office 8 years ago. So he will need to factor all this into his program, and at the end of the day, if he promises to A, B, and C, by virtue of what you are demanding, is not able to accomplish it. You cannot hold him to his word again. These are the general things we need to address, and I think on the long run, it's a national reorientation that we need as a people. Thank you.
All right. Now we just take Lasake as the last set of his own aspects here. Public relations professionals are the ones that we expect to build, so to say, build reputation or to manage the reputation of their bosses, so to say, or wherever they find themselves, in the organization they find themselves. But is it enough for PR professionals to be the only ones conscious of reputation? When we say that even the leaders themselves, the CEOs and politicians, wherever they may be, are the first agent of public relations. So, what do we need to do to help our leaders to know that they need to appreciate public relations and take it up as one of the values that they need to apply at every level to build trust between them and the followers?
Thank you. I think I'd like to answer that by taking a quote from the playbook of the keynote speaker. It says something that is very profound. It said brand and reputation is actually capital. The moment our leaders understand that brand, reputation, even name is capital. Take for instance, Yoruba people, they value name. My boss said that Omoluabi Etos. Yoruba, now, most of these younger generations, they don't understand. But those days, if you want to marry somebody, they will ask you, Omo Buni, Tanibabe. Yoruba man, Ilelawo, Kato Somoluko. If you are going away from home, maybe you are going to school either abroad or outside your locality, they will keep telling you, not your mentality, orúkọ yìí bàjẹ́ o, orúkọ rere ó sàn ju wúrà àti fàdákà lọ. But when you say that to Gen Z now, wo orúkọ rere yẹn. Keep the name. That's what they tell you. They say wo orúkọ rere àní káṣá ti lówó. Káṣá ti lówó. So importantly, we need to tell the political leaders, the corporate leaders, the business leaders, and leaders in every sphere that your name is important. You must guard it jealously. The reputation, you must guard it jealously. Because the moment your reputation is actually eroded, it takes forever to build it. Like, let me take for instance, if somebody is somebody we all trust, we trust his or our opinion, and we now go and find out that most of the things he's been saying is all fabricated, they are lies. The moment we find out that reputation of that person is lost, and whenever they mention that person, we don't want to listen to it. So the person has lost it. When I was in school, in university, one of my professors in public relations, you know what he told us? He said that the PR 101 is that you make friends before you meet them. If our leaders understand that you need to make friends, build connection before you lead people, it will be a lot easier for them to know that I'm the leader, I'm the one in charge here today, but maybe after 4, 8 years, or even if you have 10, after 12 years, you are going to leave the stage. And when you leave the stage, this stage, you are going to go back to who you are, the lead. And what you've done, if you mess up in terms of reputation, it's now left for you. So we must always have that at the back of our mind. We as a professional, we tell our principal that even though our job is to make you, our principal, look good, is to make you, to push that narrative that will endear you to the populace, to the citizen, to push the story that actually put that positive policies that you are with the masses, but you need to let what you are saying match your action.
Stephen Covey says that leadership is much more about what you do rather than what you say. If you are saying, just like majority of the government, they say that the populace that we need to sacrifice. We need to sacrifice. We are building this country. The policies are going to. They are telling us to sacrifice. If you go rice 80,000 per bag, they're telling us to sacrifice that. Okay, we're buying fuel that we used to buy now. We're buying at almost 1,000 per liter. But you see our political leaders changing cars every 3 years. Not just ordinary cars. We are not talking Toyota. We are talking about big Prado, Mercedes-Benz, and you're telling us to sacrifice. See, what you are saying is not actually matching your actions. So whatever you say, let it match your action. That is what makes you a leader to be trusted. Thank you very much.
So that's leadership by example. Now, we are going to round off this, but I want to let you have this takeaway. There is this quotation that says, qualifications are not enough. Not even the connections that you have. Once you get to the top, you can only remain there if you have good character. Then another one says, watch your attitude, watch your thoughts, and watch your actions. Because invariably, your thoughts, your actions become your behavior. Watch your behavior, because ultimately they become your character and they define your image. Watch your character and image, because ultimately they become your reputation. And watch your reputation, because as it goes on, it becomes your destiny. Look at the case of Dr. Nagy. What destiny does he have now? Gradually one action led to something else, and then today the destiny has changed. We thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. The students maintain your seats. If you are clapping, you can do better than that. Moderator, you can also maintain your seat. Moderator. Feedback is a very good element of communication. So we're going to have only three questions, and one must come from a student. The question could either be directed to the keynote speaker, Akogun Adetokunbo Modugbe, or any of the discussants. Please, 3, and if you are not communicating, we will move on. Do we have people to ask questions? Please come, I can see your hands up there. Another one, yeah, thank you very much. We already have the 3. Emma Bowat, then Elijah, you two come sit here so that we can have it aligned. We already have the 3, and we are very, very gender sensitive to men.
Just like we have the discussant.
So you can come, Sam. Whoever comes first. Now let's stay there and ask your question.
Thank you, sir. My name is Taiwo Adeyemo. I want to ask my question based on the students' orientation and my setting. As a deputy manager, public relations officer of National University Students, we believe that should start from every entry. So I want to ask the question based on my own little cycle. As a public relations officer, we are to push and design the image of our organization. But what if our head, let's say our leaders, are not ready, or they're not doing anything that is remarkable for publishing? And as you said earlier, you said, number 1 public relations officer of any organization is the head. Should we go on telling them what they are not doing in order to remain capacity or remain valuable of our position? Thank you, sir. I'm in, sir.
All right, thank you very much. One
one question for you. You can come, sir. So your name, who you are directing your question to, your question in 30 seconds. Thank you, sir.
I'll try. And you are always my name. Maybe them are my friend, but let me choose Professor Odulari. When you mentioned the Nnaji man, that means the former minister, they struck a chord with me. Trust is one word that has been abused in Nigeria. And we have a lot of people following. The Nnaji matter would have been a different case if they had run to the judiciary. I know there were tens. And if the judiciary had said, don't speak further about this man until the determination of the case. I'm not sure that even the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria would have been able to do anything about it. Because even now, we do not know whether it was at the prompting of the executive or the man. But a typical Nigerian leader will want to stay on. What can we do in the Nigerian scenario? You see, when trust is a problem, governments cannot move. Even the judiciary, how can we make the judiciary to help us? Because they even help themselves, even now. You know, so how can we navigate ourselves? And even as professionals, we ourselves, many times, we are challenged in the matter of trust. I think over to you.
Thank you very much. The last one from a woman, your name, who the question is meant for, and the question in 25 seconds.
You are gender biased. Anyway, my name is Murray Kedisha, and I'm directing my question to Mr. Alasaki. Yes, there are 2 points that I was actually holding on to when he was speaking. You said something about the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha, that's the generation of Gen Z. And you looked at, I was looking at it from moral decadence perspective. Some would say truly that full good name help. And it is really affecting the growth of, the socio-economic growth and all the likes, because these are generation coming to become leaders tomorrow. What can we do? That's the question. Is this how we are going to continue to be living with the reality, or is a way we should also continue to instill moral values in this, Gen Z generation? I am of the generation of your mom said, sit down there and sit down there. But my son will ask me, Mommy, why? So are we still going to continue to live with this reality? Thank you.
Say Mommy, why? And we still question your response. So, Mr. Lasaki, and one for Professor Odun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to answer the last question first. And then I'm going to use a popular Yoruba proverb. I love Yoruba a lot. Yoruba people say, "Ko." And Auntie Kito actually said that we continue to say, the challenge we have with the generation boomers and the older generations with the Gen Zs and Alpha is that we already have a prejudice against this Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Like, my wife is actually one of the culprits. My wife is a teacher. And the way my wife actually corrects my children, I have 2 teenagers, and undergraduates, and another always in secondary school. Because my wife is a teacher, you want to correct an undergraduate, and you are correcting an undergraduate as if you want to correct a 3 or 4 year old. You know that. At times my wife even try to correct me as if I'm a child or one of people. And what I always tell my wife is that the parenting style of our parents will not work now. Yoruba people will say another thing, Eworo Owoyi. See, the world is actually changing. and you need to evolve. It is not as if we are actually indulging these children, or you are overindulging them, but it's just practical and pragmatic. Like my firstborn is 19-year-old who is studying cyber security, and there are some things that I will do, and I will tell you about that. This is not so. It's that this is so old school. You can't do this like this. My wife will say, "Why are you doing like that? It's your dad. It's not your friend." I say, "Madam, I didn't ask you to intervene in this conversation." So the same thing is what is happening to you. When you go to the offices, you see some bosses. When judges want to make their opinion, they shut them down. At home, Gen-Z want to talk, the parents shut them down. They go for estate meeting in my estate, or the day for my estate meeting, and she wanted to talk. I want the father said, "Sit down. You want to be there? I'm a resident. I don't know so. Oh, it's okay. Oh my God. When we keep doing things like that, and we are not telling this Jay-Z that Orukoye Wurati Fadaka or the company, nobody will tell you. They say that man, this Orukoye, you can't even afford to his own fees. They will not listen because they cannot, they can't relate. We need to, yes, we need to actually walk in their own realm, understand their own thinking, and when we are giving them examples of why they should do something, we relate it to something that they can actually understand. Like, I go to schools, some of my friends are professors. Go see them, I say, I want to sit in your class. And I listen to some professors, they are giving examples. You are talking to 16, 17, 18, 19-year-old, and you are using an example of 1963, 1967. Cannot relate. You want to talk about telephone, you are talking about analog. They cannot relate. See, when you are talking to Gen Z, you need to use examples of what they will understand. That is the only way they will listen to you and they will understand that, okay, what my parents are saying is actually important. I think, we keep saying it. So my brother, we said, if we as a public relation professional, our responsibility, our core responsibility is to actually make our organization, our brand, or our principal, make them good. But you ask the question, what if our principal, there is nothing, they are not doing anything good that we can care about? I will still say something from the playbook of the keynote speaker. He said there is no situation that is entirely bad. If you work with somebody, you cannot tell me that this person is entirely bad. There is no positive attribute about that person. When somebody said that, oh, Abacha is the worst president, I don't know. I'm just saying what I'm saying. They said Abacha was the worst president we have. You said, oh, why people use examples? But you know that some people who come and say, Abacha, we're buying fuel at 15 naira. Somebody said during the we're still buying rice at so, and the dollar was still less than 500. See, you just have to look in and say, okay, what are those good things about? If it's just one or two good things, you can keep saying it in different words and different nuances. And you know one thing is that when you say a good thing, over time, that is the narrative of everybody. It is called pushing the narrative. When you want to say something, you want media to be write it yourself the way you want to push it. Send it out to different media, different from the digital, traditional, everywhere. See, everybody, everywhere you turn to, it becomes omni-channel. People will start seeing it and become the reality. So my brother, saying it.
Thank you. AY question is complex and multi-level. However, I will just respond to it as Honestly, as I see it as a Nigerian too, as a journalist, the reason many of us doubt people in governance or in government is because there is a wide gap between what they say and what they do. I've said this over and again. The fact is that transparency is not just what we profess. People must see it and know it as what is in direct consonance with reality. One major problem we have with politicians is that when they say good morning, look at your time. Let's look at the issue of certificates, for instance. In any society where the qualification of an individual is put to question, or where there are allegations of infringement of this or that, the required norm is for the person to step aside for investigation to be done, and if and when this is concluded in his favor, he comes back. In Nigeria, in Africa, let me not say Nigeria, the opposite is the case. Once you are alleged to have committed an infringement or whatever, we sit on the table and use all the appurtenances of that office, to turn justice over. And that is why people hardly resign until they are forced out. The Nike case, I want to believe, was due to pressure from top. Because he had already gone to court. He took you to court, and when anything gets to court, that's where our politicians have their day. The case will keep on dragging, and before you know it, you have to finish it for But where our moral fabric is strong enough to condone basic ethos, we know that merely being indicted itself is a dent on our integrity. We step aside until we are given a clean bill of health. And this is the kind of campaign that public relations can help us to draw down to the ears, not only of people in government, but even the ordinary man on the street. And this is anchored on the principle of proactivity. We like fire brigade things. At the level where rumor is still breathing, where we are having people speculating, this is right, this is not right, a good leader must come out clean and set records straight before the rumor is perfected, and before you now know it, we begin to write rejoinders. Ordinarily, it is not in our culture to join wars with S, Y, and Z. But now that they are on this level, we regret to see this. By that time, the deed has been done. Public relations, presupposes that take control of our critical before our adversary. And what it means is that strategic management. For all you know, because the case has not been decided, now they come out clean. For all you know later. But the damage will have been done. If you have a certificate, what disturbs you from coming? Show it. Or your colleagues that went to school together, they cannot all be direct. We are in the same class. And people are even saying, and that will be part of the pressures that we don't notice, that our president too had some kind of challenges like that, and because of that, like this likes, probably an attempt not to say, look, I'm not like that. That pressure was applied on him to step aside. So in the summary, what we are saying is that transparency is empirical. It's something that we will demonstrate in everything we do. Beyond that, I don't think we have any clear recommendation we can give. We must be transparent, we must be proactive in information given, and facts are around. We can manage it by making people to know our side of the story long before our adversary take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together very well. May I now invite the keynote speaker, the chairman and the chairman planning committee for a group photo here. And while we are doing that, we will be preparing to take one group. We can come up for this group photograph with the discussant and the moderator. We will be taking one goodwill message
We will present the remaining awards, then we move the vote of thanks, and we are out of here. Thank you very much for standing with us. Let me inform us that the council member here with us is Mr. Tome Adaramola MNIPR. The chairman of our chapter is Mrs. Oluwaseun Boye MNIPR. The vice chairman is Mr. Ogun Nipr Abiodun. Mr. Olayeni Kule is the secretary. The assistant secretary is Mr. Towashe Onu. Mrs. Aridat Olaleye is the treasurer, while the public relations officer of this chapter is praised in Ekayode Akibode MNIPR. So we want to have this picture. The 2025 Colloquium Planning Committee is headed by the chairman, Mr. Afolabi Orekwaya. The secretary is Mrs. Yemisi Fashola. It has 3 program advisors, Mr. Olufemi Dokumu, a former chair, Mrs. Oluwaseun Boye, the government chairman, and the program advisor, Mr. Dara Adebimpe. Members are Mrs. Taiwo Kiton AFNIPR, another member, Mr. Sunday Musa, Mr. Olumuyiwa Oshikomi, Mr. Waheed Ogunjobi, Mr. Koke Oyebade, Mr. Rola Iro, Mr. Latif Oluyede, Mr. Towashe Ogun, Mr. Femi Oshoito, and Mrs. Ajibola Taiwo, Mr. Anthony Ogunde. Last but not the least is Mr. Olasukomi Olaide. Ladies and gentlemen, the royal father of the day is the Olu of the paramount ruler of Yewa land and the chairman of Ogun State Council of Obas. I will now be inviting his representative, who is the Olu of Imashayi. I welcome Oba Dr. Lukman Koyi to please mount the podium and deliver the message of His Royal Majesty. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kábíyèsí o. Is costing. But apart from delivering the chairman's message, as a registered social worker, I also want to add what is going. The president of NIPR is represented by Mr. Adaramola, the state chapter chairman, Oluwaseun Boye, then the chairman of the day, Honorable Adikwa, who has thrown a bomb and left because a bomb was thrown at us, traditional rulers. And I expected that we wait so that I throw it back to him. But as left. Well, I'm here to deliver a good message of Ọba Dr. E.A. Estate of your Kennedy, Badiwole, Olubele, MFR, Paula Diwala, and the current chairman of the State Council of Obas. My special appreciation goes to the NIPR chapter for bringing this 2025 annual Colloquium to Ogun State. In fact, this is a very great thing. Papa said that you appreciate the team and the chapter for bringing it here. At the same time, you are in a KJC, and you will see clearly that this is a state that is different from other states in everything. I want to also appreciate the discussants, the keynote speaker. He has spoken very, very well. But if you are talking about leadership, in the traditional institution, we traditional rulers are also leaders. Are we truly leaders in our respective kingdoms? The answer to me is no. Because most of us are not approachable. And if you are calling yourself a leader and you cannot approach, you are not even wanting to be there. Let me quickly take example in Rotary. Before you can become a leader or a president in a club, you must attend Rotary leadership at 1 per 3. Your failure to attend leadership training, you cannot be a Rotary president. Because there, your integrity will have been tested. I'm speaking as a past president of a Rotary club. Because there are 4 ways that is very important leadership. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it be good and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? If you have that 4 ways test in you as NIPR professional, it will help a lot. And that is one of the things I'm using to manage my kingdom. Because leadership and reputation, they are 2 things that cannot be mixed. How many of us that are traditional rulers ready to manage our reputation? You have read a lot on the social media and newspapers of us, like having land here, of us imposing this here, of us. That is where the mistake pass, the bomb thrown by Honorable Nipr touches us. This type of program is supposed to be part of the programs that traditional rulers will be invited. Sit down, listen, and contribute. This is the type of, and I want to also appeal to NIPR leaders that traditional rulers supposed to be members of this professional body. Though I'm a member of NATO, ASWAN, ASWI, I'm also a professional in social work practice. Next week I'll be in Osogbo for the annual conference and general meeting. But think of program. Those of us that are managing the grassroots must also have good reputation. I want to tell you, we have some tradition that in the last 10-50 years, they have not slept in their kingdom. Recently, we read in the day on social, a traditional ruler in one state, I'm not going to mention the state, was imprisoned overseas. Are we truly traditional rulers? Well, the message is not for today, but what concerns this NIPR is just remember to include us. Just remember to include us. Even if the program is not going to be hosted by Ogun State, don't forget to invite Ogun State traditional rulers so that at least certain percentage of us will attend that program. From there, we will be able to learn new things and how to manage our respective kingdoms. On behalf of the state chairman of Ogun State Council, you are all appreciated for bringing this program here. In fact, I've been here sitting, though traditional laws are supposed to be on street from morning till evening, but I was enjoying it. It was a very good thing. I have learned a lot of new things. When the discussions and the keynote speaker was on, I was doing a lot of things. I will go back, I'm a PhD holder, I will go back home and see what I can do. What can I do to manage all these things that have been discussed here? Because, in fact, I don't know what to see. I expect the discussion to continue so that at the end of the day, I will form part of the committee that will write the community. So that at least I will equally put my own issue there as a representative of the state chairman of the state council of Oba. So that next program, our national rulers must follow the carry that on so that every one of us will be on the same page. Because I remember when we were in secondary school, if you are called your father is thief, you will be crying. But this time around, you read it on social media that I heard the page on the social media that your father stole billions. Yes, they go and you see that dignity and reputation is not there. When we were growing up, they warned me when I was going to St. Baptist College of Education, my mother woke me up in the morning. Ẹ̀gbádùn kì í ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n, ẹ̀gbádùn kì í ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n, ẹ̀gbádùn kì í ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n, lágbára Ọlọ́run kan.
Wọ́n sì ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kábíyèsí o. Thank you very much, Aláìlúwà. Let me also inform this room that the Nigeria Institute of Public Relations, most especially Ogun State chapter, has been enjoying the royal membership of the Olota of Ota, Oba Professor Abdulkadir Adeyemi Obalanlege. He is a member, a registered one at Ogun Nipr, and also the late Vladimir Oba Olufemi Ogunleye was also a member of Ogun chapter. Now we move on to the next item, as we are expecting many more royal fathers to signify their intention to join the institute. The next award we presented to the Inspector General of Police, IGP Olukayode Adeolu Egbetokun, PhD, NPM, FSPSP. The IG is expected to be represented by the CP, the Police Force of State Command, CP Lanre Ogulawo, PhD, but the CP is equally represented by DCP Sarah Idowu Enidero, a member of the National Institute, and also the Public Relations of the Nigeria Police Force of Ogun State is here with us. CP Omolola Odutola. Let's put our hands together very well as we the representative of the CP and by extension the IG to the podium. Kábíyèsí Olúmaṣayé, you are going to present this award to the IG. The IG is also from Yewa, and we are the IG is equally being awarded as a result of its contribution to the development. Kábíyèsí ẹ máa bọ̀ lókè sà, kábíyèsí o, kábíyèsí o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kábíyèsí o. Kábíyèsí ni wọn náà ló ṣáàṣì ọmọ yìí wá. Mo ní ẹ̀ ní.
IT is our son, and I don't have any cause to go why the MCC's Kábíyèsí come back. Òun náà ló kó microphone. Yeah. On behalf of Nigerian Institute of Public Peace, this reputation award presented to our dear son, who is doing wonders of the IGP PhD, NPM, for his efforts in branding and improving the reputation of Nigeria Police Force. and policing in Nigeria. It's very visible. Everybody is seeing it. The difference is clear. Everybody, all the Nigerian police officers are now projecting. If they are doing any, if you are told, they will show you the way out. Today, Thursday, 9th October 2025, signed by our own state chapter chairperson, Oluwaseun Boyu, MNIPS, MEPRA, the state chairman. Thank you.
Congratulations to Inspector General Police, the first IG of Ogun State origin. Put it together if you are doing that. Thank you very much. Okerija is blessed. Yewaland is blessed. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, another award is going to Kabisi. You will still do more. Please, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, if you have the slip with you, kindly give it to the next usher that will come to you. Kábíyèsí, eléyìí tó kàn yìí, ó kí tẹ́ẹ̀kì ìgbésà ló ń lo ẹ má yìí lọ. Ọmọ náà ni. So we now invite the representative of Dr. Abiodun Babatunde Oluseye. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, our royal fathers. Please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I am Deputy Commissioner of Police Sarah Idowu Pindero, member of the National Institute, representing the Commissioner of Police of the State Command, CP Landry Ogunlowo PhD, and by extension, receiving the award on behalf of my Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Adetoku from the press. IGP Kayode Adetoku, PhD, MPS. I want to appreciate your association for finding the Inspector General of Police, your son, of course, worthy of receiving this award. And I promise on his behalf that the award will be kept in a conspicuous place in his office to remember when you appreciated him. And as the son of the land, he will get back accordingly. Thank you very much for the honor.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the IPP representative of the IGA just said he will get back to us accordingly, and that we will follow up. Once again, put our hands together for Inspector General of Police, IG Olukayode Egbetoku. Ladies and gentlemen, the next award goes to Dr. Abiodun Babatunde Oluseye, the rector of the State Institute of Technology, Igesa. All the representatives of the rector can please come up. He will be awarded for transformation and leadership, for academic excellence, for professional recognition, for community engagement, innovative approach, mentorship and inspiration.
Let's put our hands together for the record. As instructed, I will be inviting Kábíyèsí, the Olu of Ìmáṣàyí, Ọba Lukman Ọlálékan Kúoyè, to please step up once again and present this award. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe Kábíyèsí o. Thank you very much.
Yeah. On behalf of for giving effective leadership achievements in human development and quality administration. Today, Thursday, 9 October 2025. Signed by no other person, the state chapter chairman. Well, let me quickly say something about this award. For these and the other one presented, I use that NIPM did not just pick the awardees. They have done a sort of research regarding the personalities that are awarded. Because one, what we have seen in quoted, we have not witnessed this in recent times. And IGP Eketoku, what we have seen in the police force and community policing is equally great. Congratulations to my son and my brother, Dr. Abiodun Nipr, Rector.
Please let's jam our hands together for the awardees and of course for the remarkable work they are doing to ensure
Well, I will start by saying our gratitude to our Almighty God, who has found our boss worthy of this award. Our gratitude also goes to the Executive Governor of our state, His Excellency Prince Abiodun CON, for giving us a rector in the person of Dr. Abiodun Babatunde Oluseyi. He has been phenomenal, and everybody can see it. We also want to thank the Executive Governor for also awarding some of our students about 3 days ago scholarships. So we are grateful to the governor. He is a supporter of quality education. I will continue to be eternally grateful. On Dr. Babatunde Abiodun Oluseyi, he is unavoidably absent today because of an official function, which he has to be physically available. So he sends his apology. So I want to quickly mention 3 things about Abiodun Babatunde Oluseyi. He is a lover of students, and he has vowed with the Almighty God that no student under his stewardship will pass through the conditions under which he studied. So as a result of that, at Igesa, students now have 24 hours internet facility. Not only that, students also are exposed to skill and acquisition programs. NSQL is there. Robotics and innovation is also there for students. So in addition to their ND and HND qualifications. They also have access to CIO, they also have access to NSQF, they also have access to robotic trainings and all other facilities. And within 2 years, Dr. Abiodun Babalowo has ensured that as many students are qualified, have gotten scholarships locally and internationally. So the students are happy. And as for staff, quickly, Dr. Babalowo ensures that on the 25th of every month, staff earn their salaries. And not only that, staff have been sponsored on international conferences, seminars, and all that. Within 2 years, about 10 of the staff have now become PhD holders. So it supports educational development, career development, and all that. On that note, please, sorry, I must tell you about the man, his qualities, and what he's doing at Ibesa, so that everybody can know that we now have a rector that we have never had before. Ibesa was not known before, but Ibesa now ranks amongst the best polytechnics in Nigeria. In fact, Ibesa won the JAM Award for the best compliant polytechnic in Nigeria. Out of the 5 institutions in Nigeria that won that award, Ibesa was the only polytechnic. So we have seen the light, and there's no way we can hide it. We must tell the world that we have a phenomenal rector, a rector that has achieved all things that we feel rectors should achieve.
All right.
So thank you very much.
Thank you
God bless you.
so much, Dr. Abiodun Babalowo. We appreciate the work he's doing for humanity. And of course, in the program, we have his achievement. Very quickly to the next awardee, we'll take the AA Entertainment and Tourism Limited, representative of AA Entertainment and Tourism Limited. Please step forward. The hotel that we are in, Pine Radisson, please, the representative, and of course, we would like to invite the guest speaker, that's the keynote speaker, to present the award. The keynote speaker, sir, Akobo Adetokunbo, would you please step forward to present this award? Thank you, sir.
Church, after the Nigerian Institute of Foreign Relations, I present this to all entertainment and tourism limited for the organization exceptional commitment to corporate social responsibility. Signed, this is Oluwaseun Boye, Chairman of the Church.
Please let's join hands together, and we'll be taking the reply, the response of the awardee. Ladies and gentlemen,
permit me to stand on the leading protocol. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Afegwa Idris, Operations Manager of AA Entertainment and Tourism Hotel, formerly Parking Paradise. Of this AA Entertainment and Tourism Hotel, we say a big thank you to NIPR for this award of excellence. On behalf of the General Manager, Mr. Saran Saeed, we say a big thank you to you once again. Thank you very much for this award. We appreciate it.
Please let's join our hands together for them. Very quickly we'll move to the next item, and that is the presentation of awards to our discussant. And yes, we have the chairman of the brand.
Okay. Thank you very much, NIPR, for the award.
This award is very important to us as a hotel. And I also know that something very huge, something very big is about to happen in Ogun State. And we are going to be, ever since before now, we are in the fourth hotel. And I would like also to let you know something big is about to happen. And in due time, you posted on all developments. Thank you very much. And we want to appreciate everyone for the patronage we have in this hotel. Thank you very much, NRPR. God bless you.
Thank you so much. The keynote, the discussant.
So, no, really. Thank God, last week.
I'd like to invite our keynote speaker, Akọ̀bùn Adétòkun Ògúndúpẹ́.
We would like to bring on board our discussant, Mr. Ramafne Lasaki, to please step forward.
For finding us worthy, and thank you for accepting to honor the present. So I would like to presentation in any way. Thank you so much for being here.
Professor Ayodele Odulami.
Thank you very much. We want to present this token of appreciation to you. We would like to thank you for always being there for us. We always call you every time that you are not behind any of our invitations. So today, we would like to appreciate you for finding time out to be with us today. So please accept this token of appreciation on behalf of the community.
And to our mother, this is the top Shiku.
My auntie, okay, this is my auntie, my big sister, my role model. She's very supportive. She's always doing it up. And even just a few days ago, we just made her to be part of the participation of Lighthouse. So auntie, thank you. Thank you so much for always being there for us. On behalf of Ogun Nipr, we want to appreciate you with this little token. Please accept it with love. Thank you and God bless you all.
our moderator, our own brother, the mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together to appreciate our moderator, the keynote maker, and all the discussants. We appreciate you. The decorator, the console people, and the MC, they are going to be called the brown envelopes. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving the vote of thanks on this 2025 Colloquium, which is concluding. I will be inviting the chairman, planning committee of this NIPR chapter Colloquium, our amiable, honorable Folabi require NIPR to move the vote of thanks.
Thank you much. I really don't know where to start from. But first and foremost, I want to thank God Almighty for giving us this grace. Because it can only be God. And I really want to thank you. Chairman, please, can we have the audience, please? And can we have the whole house music, please? One house, please. We have not ended the event. Let's just hold on to the end of the event, please. I want to appreciate the statement by amiable Mrs. Oluwashogbe and the ESCO for giving us this opportunity. Can we please put our hands together for this place? For giving us this great opportunity to serve. And I want to say it's a very, very brilliant task, but God saw us through. I want to start this application by thanking very, very importantly our keynote speaker. Please, you need to listen to this. This man is a great man of honor. Would you believe because of this event, he had to change his ticket from the United States of America to arrive yesterday night and for him to be able to make this event? I think he deserves every one of our praise. And this will not come free. Sir, we want to say a very big thank you to you. We really appreciate you. God will honor you. And also, I must say that along the way we had a lot of discouragement and all that, and a lot of people came for us. All the discussions we had today, I must tell you, we were able to conclude with them in just like 5-6 days. These are wonderful people. Can you please put your hands together for them? I mean, there is something we need to understand. It's always good to have good relationship and to have good network. That has actually worked for us today. And to all the team members, I specifically want to appreciate my very good brother, the vice chairman of the NIPR of the state, Ogun Nipr. He has been a very, very strong pillar of support. The secretary, Mrs. Fashola, a very wonderful woman. Please put your hands together for her. And also, Mrs. Jibola Taiwo, and all other members of the team. I really want to appreciate you for your support. I want to thank the chairman of Occasion in Absentia, it was like he was not going to make it. He's already a chairman of another private committee for his other's 19th birthday, which is starting next week. But he said, for you, I will make it. And he made it. Please let me give you a round of applause to him. When he came without Abada, I wanted to remove my pen. I said, you must not do that. Stop it. You must wear Abada. I'll come here for you today. So you wear Abada, let me wear Abada, and that was what you got there today. Thank you to Honorable Dr. Oladipo Adebutu, the wonderful leader and the mentor. I want to thank all our awardees. Sincerely, I must say to you, we never had any contact with any of them prior to today. We did not know anything about them personally. It was just based on the research that we conducted, and we were able to arrive at those that are well deserving of the awards we have today. I also want to appreciate everyone that has contributed in one way or the other. All the guests that we invited, the royal fathers, the members of the state assembly, you could see about 7 of them came together with our leader. And you will see all the entourage of the recipient, Mrs. Funcho Amosu too. We really want to appreciate them. To all the school coordinators that show their students who attended, we appreciate you all. To the gentlemen of the friends who are also our friends, we really, really appreciate you. Well, I will not conclude this vote of thanks without first appreciating the hotel, which is the host, AE Entertainment. They have been so wonderful. They give us a lot of support. We appreciate them. And I also want to appreciate my family that also donated me for this period of time to ensure that this work, we are able to attend this kind of stuff we have today. I say very big thank you to everybody. So once again, I thank you all for making yourself part of this success story. We really, really appreciate you. Depending on me, please. Okay, yes, we can use the cake to celebrate it. It's also an October. Please do that after the. Can we please sing happy birthday? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. God bless you. May the good Lord bless you. Finally, I want to appreciate all our partners. Please. All our partners and sponsors, we appreciate you all. We appreciate everybody that has supported us in one way or the other. Those that have supported us financially. All the media stations, we recognize and appreciate you all. All various organizations that have supported and individuals of the movement, we appreciate you and thank you and God bless.
Yeah, thank you very much. Right now, the chairman of the chapter, executive council members, the chairman of the planning committee, and the members of the planning committee should come up for a group photograph, and that will be the last thing on the program. So the council member will also be in that picture, and there and then they will be cutting the birthday cake.